Well, then we have hit record. I hope that I look good. I hope that you guys feel you look good. You look stunning, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, bitchin'.
You look very good, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry.
Sweet. So, from what I guess, we have David, Carl, and LOD. Is that correct?
And me.
And Jeff, yeah.
Hello.
Okay. This is the whole band, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole band. I'm just going to type in the whole band on my notes.
Yep.
You know, I'm probably going to start the interview from here because it seems interesting enough. I'm just going to type that in my notes. So when I do my official intro, I can say I'm being joined by the whole band.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. And today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have CELLAR Twins. They've got a new album, or is it just a re-release? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to call it a new album. New album, Duality, released on January 29th via Rockshots Records. And right now I'm being joined by what I'm told is the whole band. And
Yeah, exactly. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, John.
Hi. Very glad to have you guys on the show. So number one, welcome back to the show. That's what I'm going to say.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the reason I'm going to say welcome back to the show is because I was looking this up, and it looks like on, is that April 3rd? April 3rd of 2020, you guys were on the show. To my knowledge, if I remember correctly, not signed to a record label. It was just Mike over at Hard Life in the Benelux area who was promoting you guys. Because life is so hard in Benelux. You guys drink beer, you guys work minimal hours. It's just terrible. So Hard Life.
Exactly.
Oh no, I can't drink another Chame. This would be terrible. I can't stand this.
You
good
know your
chocolate.
stuff.
Yes. Who needs good chocolate? And looks like we chatted about Molotov Parade and Millennium way back then. But it looks like Mike did a great job because you guys are now signed to Rockshots Records, so Roberto's taking care of you. And looks like we have this album now being released through Rockshots Records. So first and foremost, number one, congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
No. Number two, take us through that. How did it go from Mike over at Hard Life running the promotion to where we are now? Not even a year later, about 9 months, 9 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are now releasing the record through Rockshots. Take us through that.
Yeah. Well, so as you said, we worked with Mike at Hard Life Promotion. And at some point, we decided to hit Mike and say, hey, do you know any label that are to our reach and still do good work? And he said, yeah, I know one. It's called Rockshot Records. And it's like, oh, it's interesting. So he told us a bit about that and sounded interesting to our ears. So we decided to contact them. And from there, things happened.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds so simple when you put it that way.
Actually, it wasn't. It was kind of simple, really. It's I don't know. We gave them we sent them an email, and they just answer and say, hey, we like your music. It's interesting. Can we have a discussion about terms and whatever? And said yes. And they sent us a contract. It seems legit, and yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
It felt natural.
Oh no, contracts.
Yeah, yes. At some points you have to go through there. But,
I know I'm old, but do you remember the movie Wayne's World, or have you ever seen the movie Wayne's World?
Oh, I haven't, and I'm sorry about that.
maybe it doesn't have the same title here, but I don't know. What's the story?
Well, it was a Saturday Night Live skit, and oh man, I'm drawing a blank on. This is silly. He's Canadian too. How dare I? Mike Myers, I believe. He and Dana Carvey, who were prominent comedians at the time. Or at this point, we're talking like 1990, like 1989, 1990. So this was a while ago. And they came out with a movie for this skit called Wayne's World, and it's about a couple of, I don't know if you want to call them metalheads or rockheads or whatever, into like Aerosmith, Van Halen, what was popular back then. And they were kind of doing like what I'm doing now. They had a TV show that was really low budget, and it was airing on public access TV, which is what you would have had to have done back then. And that's just the gist of the show. And then somebody picks them up and wants to put them on what you call network television.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would kind of be like the equivalent of today would be I'm doing this podcast from my basement, and then Netflix sends me an email or Amazon sends me an email and says, we want to pick up your show and properly produce you. So that's today's equivalent. And so in the movie, they want to sign a contract, and Garth, Dana Carvey's character, was like, contracts? I don't like contracts. He starts going on this whole thing about the Twilight Zone and how some guy had a tongue cut out and then it went into a jar and it grew and it pulsated and it gave birth to baby tongues.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
See you guys.
Sure. So, I figure I'm talking to a rock band. We're talking about contracts, Wayne's World. That pops into my head. But I mean, I guess it just shows how old I am. And I'm sorry.
I guess it's more popular in America.
Could be.
I see it a lot on the internet, in the American forums, but here in Europe, it's a bit of a niche.
Okay. All right. Now, I see here that this is, in fact, a re-release through the record label, and that brings me to my next question of, is it because it was so new that the label said, let's just re-release it? You guys don't have any other material? You're like out? You're like, I don't have any, we don't write songs anymore, but you can, like, why not just release a new EP or a new album or something?
Because we don't have currently completely finished songs, but we are definitely working on new songs. We have actually something like 7 or 8, I would say, almost finished songs, kind of. And so, yeah, we thought, and they thought as well, that we and them could both benefit from re-releasing what we already had, because it was not that old. It wasn't even 1 year old, and yeah, so they were up to it. We were too. So I said, okay.
Yeah.
no problem.
So we can build some momentum and reach to a bigger audience thanks to them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we decided to build on this, on the record that was already out and doing well on its own, and then we will be ready for a bigger release for the second album.
Exactly.
Okay. So there's a second album in the works. We'll get to that in a second. You mentioned a greater reach. So here's a fun question, kind of a silly question. But for anybody out there who maybe doesn't really know, or they're in a band and they're thinking, I don't know, should we get a promoter? Should we sign to a label? Tell me about the difference in reach between hiring an independent promoter, such as Mike, and then actually being on a label, such as Rock Shots. What's the difference that you guys are noticing?
I guess a person like Mike would just give you the opportunity to meet other people, like people in the label. This is not the first step, because
like a springboard.
Mike's work is really important. It's just totally different from a label, but it allows you to reach them. I think this is the difference between the two of them.
Okay. And like you had mentioned, a springboard. I heard the word springboard in there.
Yep, exactly. Because Mike is kind of like a contact to other contacts as well, Mm-hmm. For example, Rock Shots, obviously, but also you. I mean, many different people. So he does that, but on the other side, there is nothing about sales or merch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is more a label thing and not really a PR thing. And so, I don't know. It's kind of there's definitely a similar
Work.
Yes, there is some part of the work that's similar, exactly. Yeah. But on the same time, it's more, I would say, more commercial also.
Mm-hmm.
There you get that commercial dimension when you work with the label, whereas when you work with the PR, it's more like just mostly having your name spread around and people have a listen to your music. But it's, I don't know, it's just a bit different.
Okay. Now, something that I see here that was released at the end of 2020, looks like December 17th, and what I was reading in the notes is to help promote the album through Rock Shots is a music video for Millennium.
Exactly.
Now, take us through this music video. Number one, stellar music video, high production value. Number two, I imagine this was done amidst the pandemic?
So it was done here in Belgium. And in Belgium, we had the first confinement, lockdown, from, I don't know, from March until June.
Ben, en fait, on est tourné en fin juin. Parce
Okay.
que ça s'est terminé en juin, je crois.
So it was, I think, it started in March, and then the first lockdown ended in early June. And this movie clip was scheduled at the end of June. And then from, I don't know, September maybe, we started a second lockdown. So it was just fit right in between the two lockdowns. So that was sweet. But the production is very nice, but it was a crazy day.
Yeah.
It was a one-day thing.
Take us through that. Take us through the craziness.
Carl, you want to answer?
The craziness. So we had one day to just organize it all, change. So we shot that in the castle. So we had to move the furniture. We had to move the skulls we found all over the place and things like that. And it was a bit of a mess, like a chessboard.
Just to mention, the castle we were shot in actually is a museum. But we had to remove everything that looked like it was a museum to make it look like a real, not museum place.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of moving stuff around, and big chairs with horns and stuff, and you had to carry that around the place.
Don't touch this.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
That was great. And just for people listening, it may sound like a lot, but actually one day to shoot a movie clip, which is almost or even more than 5 minutes long, it's really, really short actually. And so it was madness, but it was very fun.
On pourrait raconter la dernière scène aussi.
Ouais. Especially the very last scene where we all laugh like crazy, just at the end of the clip. It was very funny because we were completely tired. It was the end of the day at 11 p.m. And so we started at 8 a.m. And so we started laughing like crazy to have that final scene that we have only made once. I think it was a one take.
Yes.
And then right when we were doing this, you had the guys from the castle that came back to claim the keys and lock the place. And they found us like just laughing like completely mad people, screaming our asses off like that. It was very, and then we saw them looking at us like, okay, that's perfect.
All those droplets. That's the only thing I can think of. In the middle of a pandemic, there's just droplets everywhere with everybody laughing.
But at that time, it was way less worse than it's now. So that's why. I mean, I don't think any of us got anything. I don't know.
Well, that's good. And she's got blood in her eyes. That young lady. Who is she in the character or in the story?
How can you put this?
Juste une personne au château.
Yeah, she just said it's obviously it's just one people in the castle, but maybe it's a bit deeper than that.
Maybe
No,
it
I guess
is.
it's you could see that as a metaphor for a person that is lost actually and has a missing part of herself or himself, because it can be related to guys or whatever. It's just the fact of becoming a bit crazy and trying to find a way.
When you are alone.
Yeah, when you're alone and desperate. Carl, do you have anything to add?
I dig the red hair. It reminds me of Linkin Park from the year 2000.
Yeah, you could see that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is the hair still red?
No, it's not. But it will definitely become red
Okay.
Once Geek starts.
on a long time period, I would say.
I like this comment somebody made on YouTube. You guys will be huge in 5 years. It's like a slap,
Yeah, that was the best comment ever.
Yes.
Oh man, you guys will be huge in 5 years. All right.
Yeah, well,
We'll take it
if
in
we
a
get
good
huge
way.
at one point, we take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then somebody else got sad and they said I'm single and they have 5 sad faces.
Exactly.
Did you click on the profile
You
of
should
this
see
person?
the answer of this.
No, should I click on it?
No, you should.
As you're honest.
You choose.
That doesn't
just-
look. I'm going back home. Going back to my safe spot.
Yeah.
Going back where it's safe. Beautiful. Then we got the Russian guy. You guys even responded in Russian. That's fantastic. Прекрасная песня, which is a great track or a great song. And then
How do you know that?
Nice accent.
Спасибо. Yeah, I studied Russian for a very long time, and I was in Russia for a bit. Years ago. Long time ago, though.
I only know 2 words in Russian, but maybe I shouldn't say it right now.
You can say Добрый день or Я тебя люблю is quite cute.
Здорово.
На здоровье, да.
На здравие. Did you use a translator? It looks like you used a translator. I wouldn't
Yes,
say
we
it.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, it's translated. We neither of us speak Russian, so we tried our best with Google translation.
Yeah, it would be большое. Спасибо большое. Большое means big, so you're saying big thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then fun fact, спасибо is actually a combination of спаси, which means thanks, and then Bog, which means God. So you're actually saying thank God.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Oh.
Why not?
Yeah. Groovy. Now, from what I was told in this chain of emails where somebody was asking if we were going to be doing this in English or French.
Guilty.
Guilty. Somebody said, I'm the new drummer, and then just signed it CELLAR Twins. So the whole band is the new drummer, apparently.
Exactly.
Yes,
I converted them to the best instrument in the world.
of course.
No
Now,
guitars on the next album, you know.
yeah. So take us through this. So, David, you're the new drummer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So talk to us about that.
Sure. So I was doing my thing, living my life, and mostly recording drum covers because during the first lockdown, that's what I decided to do to, survive, have something to do every day. So I had this challenge of learning a new song in 1 week, playing it, record, edit, and upload the video, and next week go on. And that was like my new hobby. And CELLAR Twins was looking for a new drummer, something around summer, I guess. And I decided not to apply, even though I did see the announcement. But I wanted to, focus on myself and what kind of drummer I want to be and how can I improve, and etc. And at one point, I released a video of a Trivium song, and it was like my most impressive one, to be honest. And CELLAR Twins saw it, and they decided to contact me. Actually, Elodie contacting me through Facebook and asked me if I was interested in joining the band. And I was like, I know you're looking for a new drummer, and I was kind of interested, but I live in France and I'm like 2 hours away. If you want to rehearse every week, I can't do that. Even left one of my previous bands because of that, spending too much time on the road for little rewards, may I say. So we agreed on the terms and how we want to work together, and I had to audition, and we talked to each other around the beer because we were then allowed to go to bars. And it was a match, like musically and on a human level too.
Yes.
And it was important for everyone, them and myself as well. So and now it's been a few months only since I joined the band. I feel like I've known them for years. Like we really get along well, and I'm really happy I made the choice, and Elodie contacted me in the first place.
Welcome home, David.
Very cool. I have the video up right now. Pull harder on the strings of your martyr. It looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And I like your kit.
Thanks. I've been learning alone on this kit for 10 years now.
Wow.
And it's still alive. Now I'm taking lessons with a famous drummer in Belgium. He's called Jonas Sanders. His main project is the hardcore New York band Propane. Maybe you've heard of them.
Okay.
And he's my drum teacher now, but I've been playing on my electronic kits. He right here. for
there it is.
10 years now.
You see, I like the angle that you have in the YouTube video because it doesn't show like the coffee pot and the dishwasher.
Oh shit!
But you should probably do that. You know, like go make tea or something, and then go over to the drums and like pop 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 pop, and then go sip your tea, and then
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Tell me that you did at least see the kit among other things.
I just saw a kitchen, but I'm sure somewhere in there there's a drum kit. Now, okay, so doing the challenges on YouTube or the covers paid off. Now you're in the biggest rock band out of, right. Cool. But you're not on this record, right?
No, they did that. When was it again? I remember the release was in December.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure there wasn't any re-recording of drum parts or...
No.
No. But I learned the drum part as they are recording in the album. I try to bring some of my things into it, but I don't want to go too far away from what's been done.
Right.
So... yeah, I learned everything as it is in the album, especially Selfear, because it's the next video clip we'll be releasing, and I'm in the video, so I better play exactly what's on the record.
Unless you have those awkward moments where he smashes a cymbal and you hear the back of a snare, and like, oh yeah,
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
This one is perfectly fine.
Exactly. Nobody's paying attention anyway. Sweet. So that's the next track that's going to get a music video is Selfear. But I think initially what I wanted to ask was, what is it that you bring as a drummer that maybe is different from the previous drummer? And since you guys are working on some new material, how is that shaping up to be? Is it dramatically different or...
From my perspective, and I let the others tell what they think. After that, I want to bring a bit more complexity in what we're about to release next, because that's just what I like the most. When I hear and I play music, I want my brain to be exhausted at the end of it because there's so much happening. But it doesn't have to be, too complicated and unlistenable. But just to feel that there is something happening, it's been thought out, and every note has a meaning. That's typically the stuff I enjoy. So I try to bring this into CELLAR Twins' music, but I try to be still, how can I say that? Faithful to what they are as a band, because we already have a brand, a style, and I don't want to, brush it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to find a balance between the two.
Yeah, without any self-fear.
Sorry?
Without any self-fear.
Oh, exactly.
Quite literally. Okay. Well, I believe that is all of my questions. We're close on our time here, and I know that last time we chatted about more of the meanings of the songs and whatnot. And the album is pretty much the same. For anybody who wants to hear more of those meanings of the songs, definitely go to the home site, rockmetalpodcast.ca, type in CELLAR Twins, and the previous chat will pop up. When we talk about Millennium, we talk about Molotov Parade, we talk about more of the record. This time around, I kind of want to just focus on, hey, you guys got signed. That's cool. There's a new drummer. That's cool. He likes to show off on the internet. That's also cool. And catch up with you guys to see how you're doing. And it looks like there's a new music video for Millennium, which will be on today's show notes, which we chatted about. And then this episode will air in February, end of February. So if the Selfear music video is available at that time,
it will be. Yeah.
Okay, then that will also be in the show notes for today's episode.
Thanks.
Okay.
Very nice.
Is there anything I missed that you guys wanted to chat about?
Avec le Covid, pas...
Not really. Yeah, COVID kind of didn't let us do many things, so I don't think we have much less to discuss about. I don't know. Carl, maybe?
No, because COVID stopped everything. I think nobody does a lot of different things on this.
Yeah, but
on these troubled times.
Despite this, we did get signed to a label, and we are still writing new stuff and not letting things put us down. So
Exactly.
And taking care of social medias as well.
Exactly.
That's another point.
Yeah, I mean, without touring or playing shows, what else can you do? And I don't know, live streams and things are kind of hit and miss. Some bands like it, a lot of bands don't.
We don't really.
It's like, all right, everybody, woo! Nobody responds.
Come on, Echo.
Come on, quick! Somebody check the comments. Is anybody commenting? They say they like it. Cool. And to be fair, unless something drastically changes with this new variant that's creeping around, we probably won't see things back to normal until next year.
Yeah, I think
we'll
so.
See.
Unfortunately,
So just the reality of the situation. I think you guys are doing great. You'll be huge in 5 years, guys.
Thanks.
Beautiful. All right. Well, unless there's anything else, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you
Thank you for inviting us.